Hello, my name is Lydia Baker. I'm co-host of Introverted Indies with the lovely Lucy McLaren, and I'm here today to chat with C.W. Rose. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Lucy and Lydia. Thank you so much for having me back on here. I am C.W. Rose, the author of Oceansong, which is my debut novel that came out last year. And its sequel, Midnight Song, is currently with my publisher, and we're hoping for a release at the end of 2025. I am a fantasy and romance author by night and a healthcare professional by day. And I write about, ordinary Asian women who find themselves in extraordinary circumstances and oftentimes find themselves and love on the way. And these cinnamon roll, not always human, men who adore them.
It's great to have you here, C.W. Rose. Could you just tell us about your latest book, please?
So my latest book, well, I just have one book, which is Oceansong. It is a contemporary romantasy that if you think an Asian Romeo and Juliet meets The Little Mermaid if it was set in the grittiness of the real world. It's about 24-year-old aspiring marine biologist Angie Song, who has just returned to her Alaskan hometown for the summer to work at her family's docks. But while she's there, she soon finds out that fish are mysteriously vanishing from the sea and starving her small fishing village. And when she investigates, she finds that merfolk are responsible. So her family declares war on the mare, which results in a brutal fight for control of the sea's resources. And in the midst of the conflict, she falls in love with the mer prince, which puts everything and everyone she loves in danger.
Oceansong sounds like a great mix of Shakespeare and fairy tales. It sounds excellent. So, could you tell us what inspired you to write the book?
So I was inspired to write Oceansong because ever since I can remember, I was an ocean child. At heart, I love being near the ocean. I love being in pools. Any bodies of water is where I'm happiest. And I like to think it's because I had asthma, or still have asthma, and also bad knees. So swimming and breathing in the salt air helped my symptoms a lot. I'm also a certified scuba diver and lifeguard, and I would often wonder what I would find in the lush undersea world every time I dove. So a few years ago, I was on a cruise vacation with my family and looking out into the open sea at the waves that were just rolling and turning and so mesmerizing. And I started to wonder, if I put my scuba gear on right now and just jumped in, what would I find? What if I found merfolk and they had been real and hiding among us all this time? So from there, the bare bones of Oceansong were born.
The ocean definitely holds so many wonders. That's amazing that your real life experiences inspired your story. So, could you give us your favourite line from the book?
Ooh, so my favorite line in the book has to be at the end of the first chapter. Let me pull it out. A long, slender maroon fishtail, unlike any she'd ever seen, broke the water surface. Angie staggered back, her next breath catching in her throat. In a blink, the fishtail disappeared. I really love this line because this is when Angie's normal world is shattered and she starts to realize that there's much more to her hometown than she ever thought.
That's wonderful. So, where could we buy your book?
Okay, so Oceansong is currently available wherever books are sold. A full list of stores where you can purchase Oceansong is on both my website and Linktree. And if you want signed copies, you can get that at online bookstores, the Crafty Bookstore, and Scribbles Bookshop. If you want somewhere maybe a little more local in the US, Lovestruck Books in Cambridge, Massachusetts has it, as well as Barnes & Noble in Massapequa, New York, and Theodore's Books in Oyster Bay, New York. All of those have signed copies.
And where can people follow you and keep up to date with all your writing updates?
You can find me at CWROSE, author, all in one word, on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and the Reds. I am at CWROSE813 on Twitter X, I used to call it X. And if you're on Facebook, I am also CW Rose on there. So if you want all the latest updates on my books, that's where you will find it. I look forward to meeting you.
And would you be able to give our listeners one of your best writing tips? So something that might have helped you when you're writing or that might help others. Thank you.
So my number one tip, well, I have two, for writing a book. Number one is write what you love. Because we're told all the time to write what we know, but I believe if you write what you love, you are more passionate about it, and that passion will show in your words. Also, if you don't love what you write, how can you expect your readers to, right? A second tip is just get those words down when you're writing the first draft, even if you think they're terrible, right? Because you can always go back and edit those words later, make them sound better, but you cannot edit a blank page.
Thank you so much for joining me for this mini interview, C.W. Rose. It's been great to hear about your book, Oceansong, and best of luck with everything. And thank you for listening.